Hey guys, Tyrantt here. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use our Tyrantt Pro Whooper calculator. If you don't have it already, go ahead and hop over to the Tyrantt's Whoop Lounge Discord server and scroll down until you see the channel that says TPW Official Rules. Go ahead and click on that, and then you're going to click on the form that says TPW Spreadsheet, your ultimate TPW tool, and then you'll see a link that will take you directly to the spreadsheet. Once you get to the spreadsheet, you are going to find our landing page. There's going to be some instructions on how to use it at the top, but I'm going to be talking about most of these. The only one you need to make sure to do is save a copy of your calculator, because the calculator is probably going to be locked and you won't be able to use it unless you actually save your own calculator. So after you've done that, you will then see these links below, and these will take you directly to the Tricktionary, the outdoor calculator, the indoor calculator, which is coming soon, and the leaderboard. You can either hover over it and then click, or if you're on mobile, you can tap it and then click. And also at the bottom, you'll see the tabs: landing page, calculator, Tricktionary, leaderboard. They're also color coded too to make it easier to find. So to start, let's head on over to the Tricktionary. I built a comprehensive Tricktionary that has over 82 tricks, I think, right now, maybe a little bit more. And I categorized them all by their motions. So to start, we're going to have open air tricks. This is anything that's done that doesn't require an obstacle. Flips, rolls, Rubik's Cubes, juicy flicks. If we scroll down, we're going to have power loops. And this is anything that has a power loop motion at the start of the trick. Same thing with Mavericks. Mavericks are similar to power loops, but rather than doing a flick back, you're going to pitch forward, and then you're going to do the trick. Everything with Matty flips, split S's, pole dancing is tricks that involve a pole or tree trunk. Jump roping, they're kind of similar to power loops, but instead you're facing 90 degrees to the side, kind of like you're jump roping. Then we're going to have rewinds, wall tricks, gaps, and then other tricks. And we have a custom trick builder, and so you can kind of check out the scoring for that. So we're going to have point values here, and this will show all the points for all the tricks. So we can see that a Vanny roll is worth 150 points. And then to the right, we have the difficulty section. So we can see the Vanny roll is a beginner trick. And then to the right of that, we have the trick description. So if you don't know what a Vanny roll is, you can go ahead and read the description for it. And it pretty much breaks it down step by step to do the trick exactly. So if you've never heard of the trick before, you should be able to have a good idea of what it looks like just by reading the description. So after you've taken a good look at the Tricktionary, you can head on over to the calculator. The calculator looks a little daunting at first, but I promise it's not. To start, we're going to hit the box right next to pilot, and we're going to type our pilot name. Underneath that is a map selection. We only have 5 right now, but we're going to add plenty more as time comes. We are going to select front/backyard because we're going to pretend that's where we just had a rip at. And additionally, the map of the week is the front yard as well. So we're going to get a bonus for that. Underneath that, we're going to have all the scores. The scores that you get from the tricks, the quad bonus, the map bonus, and the total score. To the right of this, we're going to have the quad section. And, we can see that K is you fly under a car, D is you do a power loop. So if you do a power loop, make sure to type D. And we'll do an example down below. To the right of that, we're going to have the map of the week and the tricks of the week. So a beginner is going to be a flip, intermediate is half Matty, pro is a Barani, and then to the right of that, we're going to have a streak section, or a stat section. So it'll tell us what the biggest streak we have is, the biggest combo we do, the biggest trick we do, and how many of the tricks of the week we did. To the right of this, once you're completely done with everything and you've submitted your video and the spreadsheet, you can hit reset calculator, and it's going to clear everything for you, make it super easy. And to the right of that, let's say that you forgot the name of a trick. You remember part of the name, but not the whole name. So for example, let's say the part of the word is a loop. So you're going to type loop, hit enter, and then it's going to show you every trick that has the word loop in it. And it's like, oh yeah, duh, we did a power loop. So now we're going to come on over here, and we're going to click on the box that says click here to start. And let's say to start we do a roll. Here we get 100 points. The trick execution is clean. We didn't combo with the previous trick because it's the first trick in our line. And everything is 100% across the board. So the next trick we do, we're going to say is a vanity roll. So here we can see that we got a streak bonus of 105%. So normally a vanity roll is 150 points, but this 5% gave us 7.5 bonus points. And we're going to say, whoops, wrong one. We're going to say that this is a combo with the roll. And then after that, we are going to do a power loop. And we're going to say that we comboed it as well. So a power loop is normally, I believe, 200. And then you can see that we have a streak bonus of 10% and a combo bonus of 110% as well. And so next, we're going to do a trick of the week. We're going to do a flip. And so we're going to say that we also did it as a combo. And some of these might not be real combos, but for the sake of explaining how the spreadsheet works, I'm going to be making stuff up as I go. So here we can see we got a streak bonus of 115%, a combo bonus of 120, and because it's a trick of the week, we got an additional 200%. So this flip is normally worth 100 points, and we got 276 for it, which is pretty crazy. Now, let's talk about a penalty. So we're going to do another flip, and with non-trick of the weeks, we would normally get a repeat trick penalty because you can only do a trick once at 100%, but because it's a beginner trick of the week, we can do it 3 times before this trick repeat penalty kicks in. You can see that we have 200% for the trick of the week, but then we have a back-to-back penalty because we did the flip back-to-back. So we got minus 50%. So this 100 points is, you know what, we're going to say it was part of a combo. So the 100 points becomes 200 points because of the trick of the week, but then 50% of that is back to 100 points. And because we did we got the back-to-back penalty, it kills our streak and combo bonus, which is why we no longer have those as well. So we're going to do one more flip. You can see, as I said before, we have 3 repeat tricks for the trick of the week on the flip. And then we have an additional compounding 50% penalty. So now we have 50 points. Now let's do a flip one more time. Now you can see the trick of the week repeat reduction is now kicking in, which is why we dropped down to 150%. And another back-to-back penalty. Now it's only valued at 13%. And we're going to do that again. Now this is the last repeat before we hit 0%, but even then we're only getting 6% here. We got 6.3 points for that flip right there. And one more, and you can see here 0%. So it doesn't even matter that it says 3% here because this 0 is going to override it. So we're going to do a normal trick here. So we'll say a juicy flick, and then we're going to do a segment roll, and then we're going to do another juicy flick here. And here you'll see we're going to have that 75 here for the repeat penalty because you can only do normal tricks 3 times before you hit 0% for the repeat reduction. So again, we'll do a snapback, and then we'll do another juicy flick, 50%. And then this next one we'll do Kufamba, and then another juicy flick and 0% as I mentioned. So that's kind of a nutshell of how the back-to-back and repeat trick penalty works. And so now let's talk about trick execution. So let's say that this juicy flick that we did actually had a bump. So because I had a bump, you can see here, let's go back, we had 110% and we built all the way up to 125% here. But when we bump, it actually resets our streak bonus. And we get a trick adjustment of 50%. So the 150 points that we were going to get, plus the bonus, now became 75 points. Same thing with the other ones. We have clean, bump, ground tap, sloppy, which sloppy will not kill your streak bonus, but it'll hurt your combo bonus. And it'll give you a trick adjustment of 65%. So you still get some points for it. You get to keep your streak bonus, but yeah, you're going to get a little bit of points taken off for that. Now let's do the quads. So you can either type K or scroll down to the bottom. So here we're going to type K. And then up here you can see that we completed it. But there's nothing for quad bonus, even though we should be getting 250 points. Well, we still do. It actually shows up down here. So usually what happens is that when you fly under a car, we're going to call that a gap, and you're going to get like 150 points for it. And then you get the additional bonus of 250 added to that. So you don't see that 250 points there, but it shows up here with the trick that you did. So if we did a power loop at 250, I'm sorry, I think power loop is 300, so it'd be plus 250. So we should get around like 500, 550 points for that. So we're going to type D, click D. Yeah, so 520 points right there. And let's go ahead and finish this out. So W and A. So you can see here that we completed all 4 of them. And if you look over to the left, we got that 2,000 big bonus there. And that's pretty big. I mean, you look at these scores that we're getting right here, and the biggest one that we've got through this, and I mean, here's 145% and 395. So, I mean, 2,000 is pretty big, especially for novice pilots. So you definitely want to kind of plan your line around doing quad or not. For the top pilots, quad might be wasting too much time, or it might have a little bit of a risk involved, like flying under a car, that's a really tight gap. So, is it worth breaking your combo to do? Maybe, maybe not. And then let's see. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers almost everything. So we could see that we have all of our trick points combined, 4,000 points. We have that big quad bonus of 2,000 plus the additional 1,000 from the 250s added down here. We have a map bonus of 603 points because we had a total of 6,000. So the map bonus gave us an extra 600. And we finished with 6,633. If we look over to the right, we can see that our biggest streak was 10. So from here to here. Our biggest combo was 3, which was here to here. And we did 6 tricks of the week. So overall, we did a pretty good run here. And one last thing that I forgot to mention before I move on to the other last thing I forgot to mention. So you can type the word here, but it has to be the whole word. So you can't type loop. If you type loop, it will only look for tricks that have just the word loop with nothing else attached to it. So if you want power loop, you actually have to type power, and then you can select the loop here. Additionally, yeah, you can scroll. If you're not familiar with the order should be very similar to the order in the Tricktionary. So if you're familiar with the Tricktionary, you know that the power loops are going to be towards the top, followed by the Mavericks, followed by the Maddies. But it's probably going to be easier just to type in here. And then one final thing before we end this. Let's say you do a really cool trick, but it's not really a trick though, but you feel like you deserve credit for it. Scroll on down to the custom combo builder. So let's say that you fly up the side of a building and you do a 1/2 flip, so you're facing the ground, followed by a 1/2 roll, so the bottom of your drone is facing the building. You're going to do a dive down, and then as you're diving, you're going to do a 360 yaw spin, and then you might do one flip as well. So you can see here that it gives you 40 points for that. You might feel like it's worth more than 40 points, but here's the thing. It's not a perfect system, and we want to give credit where credit is due. If you do something cool, you should be rewarded for it, and it gives you a little something for it. That way you're not breaking your streak or your combo because you didn't do an official trick. So up here, you can either scroll to the very bottom or just type custom, combo number 1, boom. You can see that it gave you the 40 points plus the 155% bonus. And then, yeah, let's say that's the very end of your line. So now you're going to go back to the Discord server and you're going to click on the Google form to submit your video. You're going to make sure to submit your spreadsheet as well, because this is going to give us all of the information to put on the leaderboards, and it'll help us build a player card for you so we can see your individual stats, which should be a pretty cool feature. After you made the submission, you also want to submit your video on the Tyrant's Whoop Lounge Discord server. That way you can show it off. And then come back to the calculator. And if you're on desktop, go ahead and click this reset calculator button and then watch it work its magic. So it's going through, it's deleting absolutely everything, and now it's ready to be used again. So that was a little bit of a long explanation, but hopefully you understand how it works, and hopefully it's a lot less daunting now. I hope you're enjoying the events, and I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' freestyle lines. And one final note, I just want to give a huge shout out to Jal FPV. He single-handedly built this calculator from the ground up, and it took him a ridiculous amount of time to do. And what he did was just incredible. It's very intuitive, it's highly complex, but extremely user-friendly, and just looks spectacular. Without him, I probably wouldn't be launching this competition for another year. So big shout out. Thank you, Jal. This is incredible. So with that being said, happy whooping. Tyrantt out.